Welcome to Michael's Sleep Well channel, the podcast where we listen, we relax, and we get sleepy. My name's Schofield, and it's my pleasure to be your host. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you're feeling comfy and peaceful, but don't worry if you're not quite there yet. Just relax in bed and listen along to my voice for as long as you'd like. There's no hurry whatsoever. Cale was different from the other children in his village. While others ran through fields chasing firebugs, he sat quietly, watching the sky. He knew every star by heart, spoke to the clouds like old friends, and loved the soft pull of moonlight on the river. His parents didn't mind. "Our Cale is a sky dreamer," his mother would say. But deep inside, Cale felt the sky was whispering to him. Every night, as the stars blinked awake, he felt called. Then, on his 12th birthday, as the moon reached its highest peak, something happened. A silver feather floated down from the sky, glowing with quiet light, and landed gently on his window sill. That night, the silver feather glowed brighter. Cale touched it, and the world fell away. He found himself standing on a bridge made of stars, surrounded by clouds that shimmered like dreams. Before him stood an old man in robes of midnight blue, his beard glittering with stardust. "I am Orion, the Moonkeeper," the figure said. Cale blinked. "Moonkeeper. Yes, I have watched the moon for 1,000 years, but my time is ending, and the moon has chosen you as my apprentice." Cale didn't know what to say, but when he looked up and saw the moon glowing like a mother's smile, he nodded. "I will learn," he said. The Moonkeeper's house wasn't on land or in space, it was between. Floating above the clouds, hidden from waking eyes, it spun gently in orbit. Cale arrived there with Orion. The house had moonbeam windows, a clock that ticked with the phases of the moon, and a giant telescope that could see into dreams. "Being a moonkeeper isn't about power," Orion explained. "It's about listening. To tides, dreams, stars, and silence." Cale's first task was to water the moonflowers, silver blossoms that only bloomed in true stillness. He knelt beside them every night, speaking gently, humming lullabies, and slowly they bloomed. One day, Orion showed Cale a pool of still water in the Moonkeeper's garden. "These are the tides of memory," he said. "The moon pulls more than water, it pulls stories." Cale dipped his hand into the pool and images swirled to life. Children laughing in sleep, sea turtles singing as they crossed oceans, ancient lullabies whispered from mother to child. He saw the moon not just as a light, but as a keeper of feeling, a guardian of all things soft, gentle, and true. That night, Cale stayed awake, watching the moon with new eyes. He was no longer a boy who loved the sky. He was becoming part of it. Weeks passed. Cale learned how to balance moonlight across time zones, calm stormy tides, and soothe dreamers who tossed and turned. But one night, a star fell, fast and hard, into the ocean below. Cale wanted to rush to it, but Orion held him back. "Some stars fall because they must," he said. Still, Cale couldn't sleep. He climbed to the observatory and looked down. The ocean rippled strangely where the star had landed. "I must go," he whispered. "Even fallen stars need a friend." And so, for the first time, Cale left the Moonkeeper's house, alone. Kale descended through the clouds, his cloak woven from moonbeams fluttering behind him. The ocean below shimmered, not with sunlight, but with something older echoes. Where the fallen star had landed, the waves spun in spirals, and the air tingled with sadness. As Kale stepped into the water, it parted for him, revealing a glowing crater of coral and stone. There, nestled in kelp and sand, was the star, small, trembling, no bigger than a seashell. Its light flickered weakly. Kale reached out and whispered, "You're not alone." And with that, the star blinked once and sighed. The fallen star could not speak, but Kale could feel its fear. Its journey had ended too soon, its purpose lost in the fall. "I'll call you Lumi," Kale whispered. He cradled Lumi in his hands and sang softly, a lullaby his mother once sang. As the tune wove into the sea, the waves calmed and Lumi's light grew steadier. Suddenly, from the deep, voices rose, singing in a language of bubbles and song. The sea seraphs had come, guardians of ocean dreams. They bowed to Kale. "You speak moonlight, child," they said. "We will guide you home." And they did. When Kale returned to the Moonkeeper's house, Orion was waiting, his eyes shining with both pride and sorrow. "You heard the stars cry," he said. Kale nodded, Lumi resting in his palm. Orion smiled, but it was a weary one. "Then the time has come." That night, under the harvest moon, Orion passed the Moonkeeper's staff, a slender rod wrapped in starlight, to Kale. "I will return to the stars," he said. "Watch over the moon, the tides, and the dreamers. Be gentle always." And as Orion vanished into the sky, a new star appeared beside the moon. Not long after Orion's farewell, a strange wind swept through the dream world. Dreamers began to wake crying, their dreams twisting into storms of fear. The dream basin, where Kale stored the hopes of children, rippled with unrest. Nightmares were leaking through cracks in the sky. Kale stayed up for 3 nights, soothing the basin with moonlight and melodies. He called upon ancient constellations to seal the rifts. But the darkness returned each dusk, stronger. It wasn't a mistake. It was something coming. Something old. Kale climbed into the moon's heart, a chamber carved from crystal and silence. Here, the moon's light pulsed like a heartbeat. But now, the pulse was weakening. "The Hollow One returns," whispered the voice of the moon itself. Long ago, before even Orion's time, a forgotten being, shaped from absence and hunger, tried to steal the moon's core to devour the dreams of the world. Kale looked at Lumi. "We have to stop it." Lumi pulsed once, determined. And so they set out, not to fight, but to heal. Because even nightmares are born from wounds. Their journey led them to the Library of Lost Dreams, hidden inside a floating island of ink and glass. Here, forgotten dreams drifted like paper boats. A librarian named Solon greeted them, a tall, kind figure made of parchment and starlight. "You seek the Hollow One?" he asked. "Yes," Kale said. Solon unrolled a scroll that sang when opened. It told the Hollow One's origin, a forgotten dream itself, abandoned by its dreamer, turned bitter in the void. To save the moon, Solon said. "You must remind it of what it once was, a dream of gentleness." Solon gave Kale a shard of the night mirror, a piece of stardust that shows not just faces, but forgotten truths. With it, Kale and Lumi found the Hollow One, rising from shadows near the Sea of Silence. It loomed like smoke, eyes like torn cloth. "You will fail," it hissed. "The world no longer dreams." Kale stood firm. "You were a dream once. Someone loved you." He held up the mirror. The Hollow One screamed, then trembled. In the reflection, it saw itself not as a monster, but as a child's forgotten lullaby. And it began to weep. As the Hollow One cried, its form unraveled, not in destruction, but in return. It melted into light, and from it a melody rose, a song no one had sung for centuries. The stars paused to listen. The moon brightened, and from the shards of sorrow, a flower bloomed in Kale's hand, a night bloom born from healed darkness. He planted it in the Moonkeeper's garden. From that night on, no dream was ever truly lost again, only waiting to be remembered. With peace restored, the skies opened in joy. The stars threw a celebration, a festival of silver light. Kale invited all dreamers, sleeping or waking. In their dreams, children danced across clouds. Elders sang with stardust flutes. Even Lumi floated above them, now fully restored, its glow steady and warm. The moon smiled, brighter than ever. Kale, now dressed in the full robes of the Moonkeeper, watched quietly, his heart full. He knew one day he too would pass the staff on. But not yet. There were still dreams to guard. Years passed. Kale grew, but never old in spirit. Each night he walked the Moonkeeper's garden, whispering to the stars, tending the flowers, listening to the dreams below. And one morning, as dawn kissed the sky, a silver feather landed on a windowsill far below, in a quiet village. Inside, a girl with stormy eyes and a mind full of questions picked it up and smiled. Our story today has ended. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with us beneath the stars. If our stories help bring you peace, sweet dreams, or a little wonder before sleep, we invite you to subscribe, like, and share the magic. Until next time, rest well, dream deeply, and remember, the night is always listening.